All right, all right. I'm here with you, Soheil Var. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. We've only met each other a couple of times, and it's always been a great vibe, but we never really went deep. And there's already a friendship there because we vibe, but we
Yeah.
don't know too much about each other. And today I'm mostly interested in you and your journey, which is, I mean, beyond. Honestly, you're 26 years old. You have 2 million followers across platforms. You've built a football club in less than a year. I mean, the list goes on, and it's a story about resilience, discipline,
Yeah.
and full commitment, and also just taking things step by step, right? Like, this is the magic that you've been managed to manifest into life. So I'm so curious and so excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here. This is episode 1. And by the way, look at this amazing studio that we've got.
We've got a great
The
setting.
energy is unreal. And this is
Yes.
about to be not only a great podcast episode, but the start of an amazing podcast.
Thank you so
So,
much.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited about Path to Impact. I think it's so important to really raise, journeys of, doubt, resilience,
Yeah.
like judgment, all of the things, but really share the journeys of the people that prevail and who go through all of that and come out on the other side with impact. And that's what you have done. And so we're going to focus on your path today. So I really want to get to know, it's a journey about football, but it's also so much more than football. Like you've bridged, social media with your passion. And I want to take it back to when you were a kid and how did football make you feel? Like, why was that your passion?
So I grew up in Vienna, Austria. That's where I was born. And it's a football country, Austria. Everybody plays football. So in school, we played football and it was what you do for fun. So I got into it, and then you watch the TV, you see the World Cup, and you have that dream as a kid of, can I potentially play there one day? But it was something that at school we would just play. And then I had 1 year where I eventually played competitive soccer as a young kid, but only for a little bit before then moving to Canada. And that's a whole story of immigrating to Canada with my family. But how it made me feel, I would say as a kid, fun and energetic and happy.
Wow. Those are the things that spark us, the aliveness, right? And that is
Yes.
what keeps us going and doing the things
Which,
that
by
we
the way,
do.
you know what's crazy? You asked
Tell
me
me.
that question because I answer like that. And that's how I started. And that's how so many footballers around the world start, athletes around the world start. But then as we try and go pro, it gets serious. And then it's like a chore, it's a job, it's stressful, it's anxious.
And also especially because I do think that in football, it's all or nothing. It's like I have so many friends, growing up also and with a similar background story of immigration and stuff like that. Like every guy around me played football, and
Yeah.
it was like either you play football or, there is no other path pretty much. And then I do think that one of the main reasons people maybe don't succeed is because they remove that playfulness and, the spark of things. So you don't have that,
Yeah, it's true.
like fire, so to say. It just becomes too serious. And in your case, like, when did it start becoming serious for you? You moved to Canada.
Yeah, so I moved to Canada.
Yeah.
Whole family moved over. I didn't know how to speak English. I had to learn English and French at the same time. So I moved there. My first goal was, okay, try and make friends, integrate into the culture, and focus on school. So my parents...
But football is a great way to integrate as well.
Football is
isn't
a great way to integrate, but it wasn't really pushed too much. It was
Yeah.
more so, okay, focus on your school, do your homework, make sure you get the A's.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a house league program where basically you play once a week. And I asked my parents to sign up for that. I finally got into it. And that was super fun. Like, imagine you just show up and you play once a week for fun. Nowadays, the top professionals, they start at 6 years old. They train 4 to 5 times a week. So around 12, 13, I'm only doing soccer once a week, and then I'm playing for fun with my
It's
friends.
the thing that you're looking forward to every single week. So,
Yeah.
of course, it's fun. Yeah.
And then the next year, one of my... Well, this is a small story that nobody knows. I knew about competitive soccer, which is one level higher than what I was doing. I went to the tryouts. It was a 2-day tryout. The first day I showed up, didn't know anybody. Nobody talked to me. Nobody really passed me the ball. I went to my dad. I'm like, I don't want to go to day 2. So I didn't go to day 2. And I went back
Pressure was on. You're like, I don't
and
get.
it's such a social.
Did you feel like I can't handle it?
It was
that
a
why?
socially anxious thing.
Yeah,
It was like nobody's playing me the ball. I'm not really, talking with anyone. And it was a level up from where I was playing at. But then a couple months down the line, school, gym. I do good in one of the sessions, and one of the kids who played competitive said, hey, we're looking for one more player. Come out. I go out. I do well. And then the coach says, hey, I want you on the team. I was around 14. I go back to my parents. I say, hey, can I sign up for competitive soccer? This would now be like 3 times a week.
Right.
And this is not pro academy, nothing like that. It's still amateur competitive. And I got in. So from that day, then I entered high school, and that dream starts coming of, okay, we're going to push. How high can we possibly make it?
Did your parents always support you in the sense of like when it came to football, or were they always, because my parents were always like, you can do music, but you need to be really good in school as well. Like you need to do both. Like you can't have one without the other.
Was it like you had to do good in school first, and then it was okay to do music?
A little bit like
right?
that.
Okay. Yeah. I had something similar. So it was very much, okay, make sure you get your A's and good grades in school. And if that's the case, you could do soccer. But soccer, especially my dad, he always saw it as a hobby. It's something that I would do as fun, So I get a good job, good stable job, and then soccer is something that I would do for fun with my friends. So at first there was a little bit of friction when I first wanted to go and play at a higher level. And then eventually, many years later, I took one-way tickets to go to Europe and travel, and then the friction became more. But my parents always loved me, still do, so supportive, and I'm so grateful for them for making me such a great human, for teaching me fantastic values. And for that, I can only be thankful for the rest of my life. But in terms of just football, if we're focused on that, they weren't too like, yay, let's go, our son's going to do football.
How big part do you think that your family and your, plays in how big part do they play in your success, and the support that they have?
I would say at core, massive, because they built me to be who I am with good values. So I'm a very kind person, empathetic, honest, hardworking. And these are all traits that I got from my parents raising me to be great. I did need to take initiative at around the age of 19. I first got into reading books, listening to podcasts, and diving into the self-growth industry. And basically, it opened up my mind for the first time to, whoa, I can actually be aware of what I'm thinking about. Because before then, I was kind of living like a robot, which most of us do.
That's
with
the biggest thing.
Exact thoughts every single day.
To actually realize, to be able to objectively observe and to know that you can actually control the outcome of your thoughts and your reality almost, Because with that awareness, that's where it comes.
Yeah, and that piece for me was big. So I would say it was a mix. My parents helped me so much in developing the core of who I am, but then I needed to take initiative to develop who it is that I want to become in life and the skill sets around that. And I think that is something that every person watching and listening to this should do. There comes a moment in your life where you need to take initiative and you need to take ownership of who do you want to be? What are your thoughts going to be? What are your values going to be? And the earlier you tap into that, the more exciting life gets.
I mean, that's the whole thing with you, honestly, Soheil. You're 26 years old, and we're talking, playing pro football. We're talking creating an insane social media following and a tribe, a community that really gets to follow along on your journey of this self-expression, I would call it. You're literally like expressing these good values that you have, and you want to create for footballers something that is very unique and not just solely focused on being a good player, but also focusing on creating good humans, almost like people creating good values within teams and so on. So I really want to go back a little bit to, you were quite heavily rejected at one point. With
so many.
So, well, but the starting point was, I guess, when you, in college, you got like kicked out from the team and so on. How did that go? Tell me more about that.
So that was a pretty big moment. Even before that, like a couple years before that, when I was in high school, I would drive 2 hours after high school to go train with a higher up team in the next city in Kingston. And I would go day one, I would train. Day two, I would train, cut.
Oh my God.
I'm gone. I would go to the Ottawa Fury tryouts. That was the big team in our city at the time. Cut. Next semester, I try again. Next season, cut. Over and over again, that story repeated itself. But every single time I was cut and rejected, back to work. So I would wake up early, go to the football pitch, train.
Right.
Late at night, I would go find the lights. I would turn on the lights at the football pitch and I would train. So Carleton was pretty difficult because I had invested so much of my energy and time to make that my next stepping stone to going pro. So I, after many, many attempts, was able to get onto the team. And again, I had no network, no connection, so I had to email like crazy. I finally got out to one session. I worked incredibly hard. I stayed persistent, and I got an offer to be one of the last players on the team. Trained incredibly hard that first year, but as a rookie, usually you don't play much. I didn't get much playing time, but that didn't matter to me. Year two, I was like, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna work. And I trained incredibly hard for those months, but long story short, the final day before the season starts, I have a meeting with the coach, and it was a setting like this, except there's like the assistant coach, the goalkeeper coach, and
Everybody's
the whole staff.
there.
And I had no social skills. I was so shy. So sat down, and I had no idea that this was even an option because I had been playing well. And he told me, look, this is your year to now integrate more. And he said, Soheil, you're not going to be part of the team anymore.
Wow.
On the spot. And it was so shocking to me. I was there for a couple seconds, didn't know what to do. I stood up. I said, okay, thank you for everything that you gave me the last year, making me part of the team. Shook everyone's hands, and I left. And the script that I had in my mind, the path to success,
Did you have a plan B? That's
was
what I'm
ripped
thinking.
in front of me. I didn't have a plan B at the time. So my plan A was, okay, university soccer, I get my education, I play soccer at a high level. Then after, towards the end of that, I go pro.
Don't you think, though, that it is better sometimes to not have a plan B? To have, because the plan B makes it easy for you to kind of like rest on that, to fall back when things get hard. I feel like I did that a lot. Like I had a plan B, which was the school and everything. And I just kind of like, yeah, I'll just fall back on that then instead, you know? And in your case, it seemed like it was football. You know, you made your parents happy, but it was football. Like you went for it. It was the only plan A. This is what we're going for.
So
And then
look,
to have that ripped in front of you, like...
as you're talking about plan A, plan B, this is just what popped into my mind. And I realized this is my philosophy and has been for the last couple of years. So before it was very much plan A, plan B. The reality is if you have a plan B, it takes away energy and attention from plan A.
That's
so
what I mean.
you should be putting all your focus, all your energy into plan A. Why? Because best case scenario, plan A works out.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, plan A doesn't work out, but you're better equipped to take on plan B. It's an evolved plan A anyways.
Exactly.
And if on day one you're like plan A, plan B, and it's half energy, you're never going to become your maximum version, and you're never going to have dedication and persistence to 100% to optimize your chances of actually achieving plan A.
Boom.
So that's been my philosophy the last couple of years is I have a mindset of, okay, this is the goal. I'm going to achieve it. 100% focus energy into that goal. And if I don't, which I don't even have that thought, but if it kind of like, it goes to the side, it's like, no, this was the plan A.
This was the
This is a gift from God. It's a little bit of a, okay, we went to the right, but this is plan A.
Fully. Wow. Beautifully put, honestly. And that's what I've been, when I think about what a legacy I want to put forth, to the next generation and so on, I'm always saying that, like, be committed to the dream, consistency, commitment, discipline to what it is you see yourself becoming. Like we so often get these downloads and dreams given to us, and we sort of scrutinize them and minimize them to something, that is like, oh, this is achievable, because there's so much pressure from the world. Everybody's, saying to you like, oh, you think you can open a pro club in 365 days? Are you crazy? But we won't if we minimize the dreams. But if we keep them big and we say, I'm going to do it, and there's no other option, the way there, it will be the way it is. It might take longer, who knows? Instead of 365, maybe it's 655.
Yeah.
But you will get there because you didn't, minimize your dream. So
the thing is,
this is something that's very inspiring with you, is that you, even when you perceivedly failed, you
keep
still
going.
kept going.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The thing is that first they call you crazy, then you become the blueprint.
Yeah.
So with the we're gonna build a pro football club in 365 days, the comments start coming in, the conversations start coming in. Are you crazy? Who has one built a pro football club from scratch?
Yeah.
Two, done it in only 365 days? Half the guys ignored, the other half they were calling us crazy, but then we actually achieve it. And then it's like, wow, how did you do it? Okay, you become the blueprint for it. So I think on day one, it's very, very important. Like you said, you have to have absolute belief in yourself and in the vision. And you
Yes.
have to be committed to making it happen.
Yeah. And so going back to actually making this happen, you
Yeah.
know, I'm really curious about what's the next thing you're getting onto, but we'll get there. I'm really excited about the next moves because, you know, we're going to talk about the things that have happened so far. And one thing that's been, I think something maybe that has helped you immensely on your journey is the fact that you have shared vulnerably on social media. Like that accountability that social media can bring, like, you know, when you say out loud to the world, like, I'm about to do this, watch me. I think that that also creates so much fuel and also a way how social media can literally be like spiritual, you know, growth, you know, because it puts that fire when you share vulnerably and authentically what I'm about to do. Because a lot of people, they like to share, you know, when they're there. You know, they like to share the
good moments.
the good moments, the beautiful things and so on. But you have done the absolute opposite. You've literally invited your community in to your thought process and to how you're going to achieve this. And this is hugely admirable, I think, and something I'm very inspired by. So I want to know, when did you start connecting social media with football?
Yeah, so that goes way back into high school, because in high school, I was the kid who did good in school and good in sports. And then the time off, a lot of kids were playing video games, going out to hang out with each other. I found a passion for making videos. So I remember I got the cheapest camcorder at the time. It was the flip one. Flipped open. I went to the soccer field and I would start making videos. So that's the first start of soccer and social media for me, purely out of fun, purely out of joy. I was doing free kick videos. I was doing tutorials. I would upload them. 30 views. I got excited.
Boom.
Then it was like 80 views. Whoa, we're on to something here. We're on to something. And then after I went to university, school got tough. I took a break from YouTube. So it was very on off. The moment it got serious, and a lot of what people will remember is the 365 days to trying to sign a pro football contract. Because that journey from day one to when I achieved it, over 500 million views.
But was it like the next logical step for you to share that, just because you had already been sharing your free kicks and, like, you know, filming yourself a little bit?
The reason I shared is because, so before then it was fun. It's like free kicks, tutorials, occasional vlog. But that was a commitment.
Yeah.
That was like, here's the challenge. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but boom, it's out for the world to see. And this is my accountability stamp to making it happen. So I knew that day one video that I created, it put the energy into the universe and I was now accountable to it. And under that umbrella, that accountability ties to myself, 1. 2, it ties to my parents. 3, it ties to the friends, my community who's going to be watching. 4, to the whole world who might be tuning in.
It's full power. Like, I mean, and I really want to take a moment to, like, acknowledge, like, how powerful that accountability aspect is. Because once you open your, like, you literally show up as your authentic self.
Yes.
To what you want to create and put out in the world and the legacy you want to put, like, it just becomes, like you said, like you put out the energy out into the universe, and you have no other option but to push yourself to, like, with that, you know, energy. And that's how law of attraction, I think, also works. Like, you put it out there, you envision yourself, you put it out, and then you create that magnetism
Start
between
attracting it. It comes. And for me, I've learned 2 layers of the accountability. And I think layer one is what everybody starts with when they do the accountability. Let's say they have a challenge or an idea, they start sharing it on social media. At first, it's like, okay, I want to achieve it or I need to achieve it because if I fail, what will people think of me? Or I have that sense of accountability. But then you start tapping into layer two. Layer two is the fire. And the fire of layer two is basically, if you don't stay accountable to your goal, think of all the hundreds and thousands and potentially millions of people who could be watching, who could get value and inspiration from your journey. You letting them down.
Yeah.
Think about that. So once that became my true accountability, it wasn't so much, okay, I have this challenge, I want to achieve it because what are people going to think if I don't achieve
When
it?
you do things out of service, it always
100%.
multiplies. It always, it when the things get hard, that's,
Yeah.
you know, the sort of thing that you turn to is like, no, but this is bigger than me.
Yes.
This is much bigger than
Yeah.
me. This is literally, you know, proving, not to prove for yourself, you know, that, oh, I can make it. Oh, I don't want to get any judgment, or I don't, you know, I need to prove everybody wrong. It's more to prove the people that want
Exactly.
to prove them that the potential is there. Like you could also do the same thing.
For anyone who's ever struggling with motivation or inspiration or that sense of purpose, I highly encourage them to audit their why.
Yes.
Why? Then again, why? Go deeper.
Go layers 5 times.
Deeper, deeper. And the deeper you go, and eventually it gets tied to other people and the impact you get to make.
Yes.
That
is the
if
core.
that doesn't get you going, what else will get you going?
Yeah.
And it's not that you're not motivated. It's that you haven't brought that to your awareness in the moment.
You don't know why you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's, I mean, in a world full of distractions as well, and in a world full of scarcity, you know, and like FOMO and all of these things, it's like the why is a common denominator with people who are really like living with impact, you know, that has a big impact on people and their community, is because they truly know that they're not doing it for themselves. They're ultimately, you know,
exactly
giving
and
out.
that clarity is so important. You touched on being in this world of being distracted. I just have to give a quick shout out to this because every single time I put on the arc hack, even if it's for a moment, it gives me that awareness of the breath.
Yes. Oh my God.
And that is the most important thing. And I'm here and I'm going to get my thoughts to be clear and focused. And when you were talking about, okay, distraction and stimulus, and every single person's on their phone nowadays, and all that distraction, it gets them away from the why and their mission.
Yeah.
So sometimes having tools in your life like this, there you
or
go.
like this.
There you go.
I'm gonna pop some now.
Yeah, let's do it. We forgot to do it. We're going to do it at the start of the episode. This is crazy, by the way. When I take this,
You want to go
yeah, I'll
first?
do it, yeah. When I take this is the boost.
It literally makes you drop in.
It's, you know what this is? It's almost like a cheat code to tap into a higher level of yourself in the moment, and then you can play off that energy.
Literally, like I feel like my state alters.
Yeah. Look, in any
Is it
given...
okay to take breaks?
I think so. Why not?
To breathe for a moment?
One of my most exciting thoughts and belief systems is that in any given time in life, like any moment, if you audit yourself, there's your current version, but there's always, I call it a 2.0. on my AirPods, I have 2.0.
Right.
So I have this philosophy, it's called version 2.0.
Yes.
Everybody, us growing up, parents conditioning society, living in the matrix, in that bubble, we're version 1.
Yes.
But any given
The
moment...
higher, you're talking about the highest self.
Exactly. You can
Yeah.
tap into 2.0.
Yes.
And this is like a hack. Like, 2.0, let's go.
Actually, I mean, it is also the value that you give it.
Yeah.
Like if you would give it, like you said now, when I take my art drops, I'm my 2.0 version, you know? So I'm about to embody that too whenever I take art drops. It's a great product, honestly. So
It is.
I'm glad you like it. And use it also in
Yes.
your practices and everything to drop in. And back to dropping in, you have scaled, you know, your social media to a 2 million following. And so, as I know, you became a pro player, not in 365 days, but it took you a little bit longer, and that was just a sign of your resilience and not giving up and proving them wrong that it is possible. I'm gonna get there. The dream doesn't stop here, even though I had the whole internet holding me accountable to make it in 365 days. I want to know, how was it received when you didn't become a pro player in 365 days?
Yeah.
And what was it like until, what day was it?
634. That's the day.
That's the day.
Let's go.
That's a whole year. Oh my gosh. Did you
So-
receive a lot of hate during that time?
Look, at the start, everybody cheers. Everybody supports.
Yeah.
You have a new idea? Let's go. Let's go. But then as you start to rise, then that crowd comes. It's like, who's that guy? What's he trying to do? He's never going to make it. So at the start, it was actually supportive. The first couple of weeks, 365 days to pro, people are supportive. They're positive. Then I went to Spain. I go to Spain. I document the journey. I travel halfway across the city. I take the metro. I take the bus for a tryout. The guy doesn't even play me. I come back. I go to another team. They reject me. Then I finally sign with the team. I document that whole process. 365 days comes up. The last couple of days, it was pretty evident like I wasn't going to sign in the next couple of days. And there was some support, like, hey, you could make it still, go year 2.
Yeah,
and then the
you
rest
had
of the
your fan
guys,
base, but you had a lot.
the rest of the guys, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Give up. You suck. Who are you to keep trying? And you know what the best response was? Season 2.
You gotta just
Season
think,
2.
what do I do in this moment? Of course, there should be a season 2.
Exactly.
Easy.
You keep showing up.
Creativity,
you just
baby.
keep showing
Yeah.
up. And that's what I did. I did season 2.
Yeah.
And the first phase of year 2 was the most amount of hate.
Right.
So I had a health family situation come up. I couldn't go on a tryout that I had documented, and the comments went crazy.
Were you
This guy-
transparent about that too? Were you able to be vulnerable and say, listen, things come up in life. We can't control everything in our life.
I tried to make a video. However, I was the first to document the day-to-day and the whole reality on TikTok, which can be a great platform. It can also be a toxic platform. So I leaned into the vulnerability, and the hate came at me, and the judgment came at me.
Oh, gosh.
And then I was dealing with a family health situation at the same time.
It's overwhelming, bro.
The opportunities were coming downhill. So nothing was working out in those days, in those weeks. But what did I do? I just kept going. I kept showing up. So it was very difficult mentally, to be honest, those weeks
Yeah.
were some of the most difficult. Again, there's different layers to it. One layer is the football wasn't working out and the hate that was coming in. Like, who
Yeah.
wants thousands of people to hate on them? We're all
No
humans.
one.
But the deeper level is the health situation with my family, because that
Exactly.
to me is so important, right?
No,
So-
you return to what is actually
What is actually important,
And I
yeah.
think that was maybe a blessing in disguise also, to receive all that hate in a moment when you had another profound importance, which is your family,
Yeah.
actually, So that almost becomes, it's there, it's painful in the moment,
Exactly.
but you realize what is important. So, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
even in the pain, even in the struggle, there is light, in the sense of this hate stuff is complete, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
100%.
It doesn't even matter. And maybe you wouldn't realize that unless there was something,
Unless it happened.
hard was
Serious.
happening
Yeah.
in your family. And
That's the biggest and most amazing perspective reminder that I have occasionally is, and we all have our goals and our challenges and our problems at work and the stress. And then you get that reminder from God that health, family, close friends, people who are close to you, love, connection, that is the most important
it
thing.
goes
And-
first, and then we come with the legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in regards to the legacy, you went pro, but maybe you felt a little bit, this is just about me. This is maybe, can I take this further
Yeah.
and expand the vision even further? And I guess that is when we're stepping into the fact that you go out there and you're like, listen, guys, we're about to open a pro football club. I'm going to be the founder and the owner
Yeah.
of a pro football club at age 26 in 365 days.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hit a Guinness record? You should literally apply, bro.
Yeah, it's a Guinness World Record. We should actually
is.
apply.
You
It's
should
never
actually
been
apply.
done before. Pro football club in only 365 days from
Unbelievable.
scratch. It's never
In
been
one
done
way,
before.
I mean, I'm sure many people have said it as well, but that only happens in Dubai.
It only happens in Dubai, the
But
best
that
city
is
in
a
the world.
part of your journey, I feel
is,
like,
yeah.
is that you could recognize, where do I need to be? Where do I need to place myself? What is the environment that I need in order for this to manifest into reality? So you take so many aspects, you know, into
course, yeah, yeah.
consideration. It's not just like train. Like you're so holistic in your
Yes,
mindset.
yeah.
That's what I feel about you, is that you literally see through everything
Yeah.
and can strategize so clearly in order to make such a crazy thing, amazing thing happen in just a year. Take us through.
So 365 days to building a pro football club, something that's never been done before.
Insane.
I had over 10 years in football, and I had a reflection point where I reflected on my own life and my own career in football, but then also a lot of my former teammates and players I've come to talk with in the last couple of years. And many of them outside of football, they didn't have anything else. They had no skill sets. And also with their football, they were very unfulfilled and unhappy. With myself, I was blessed enough to build a personal brand, to get into the importance of mindset, developing yourself, learning about diet, recovery, wellness, nutrition, how to speak, how to become confident.
You became your own coach before you became a coach.
Pretty
Almost.
much. And I had a reflection point where I was like, what if I get to teach this to other people? What if we create a platform where through this platform, part of it is educating the next wave and also the current wave of athletes that, look, yes, you should focus on the football pitch, you should focus on your sport, but in the 8-9 hours of free time that you have, instead of watching Netflix or playing video games or doing non-productive things, which there's a time and place for those, but
Of course.
can you spend some productive hours to learn skill sets, to develop yourself into becoming what I call a multidimensional athlete? So you don't only have football, but you have the 360 approach to life. Mindset, health, wellness, finances, learn how to save, learn how to invest, learn how to
Amazing.
get an education if that's what you want to do, learn how to speak on stage if that's what you want to do. And that was the why of like
I mean,
the driving force.
I honestly think that this way, I don't know if that was an awakening moment for you when you actually were, you know, pro football player yourself and you did that journey. Did it come to you ever that I will make a bigger impact if I go this route instead? Because what you're saying right now, I think, is such a missing piece within the football community worldwide. It's like I said in the beginning, it is such a sport where it's like it's all or nothing. It's only this, and so many people, you know, fall back and they have nothing to fall back on because they don't know anything else. It's literally just the football that the whole world is circulating around. And you did, what I see in your journey is like, okay, you had the football, but then you had this other expertise, mastery of content.
Yes.
So you took two because when you have, I'm not saying everybody should be masters at two things, but it literally leverages you. You all of a sudden become very unique.
Yeah.
You know, and when you can combine those two, like it becomes a whole new thing that the world might potentially need. So to all the football players out there and so on, like, you know, is there something that you could do besides football that still ties into football somehow?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, because you need to know finances in order to be a good football player, you
Of
know, or
course.
you need to maybe also know how to document your journey and like whatever it can be, find another mastery. So don't make the whole, life about
Of course, yeah.
only football because because the football gets so serious.
Gets so serious.
It gets so serious.
And there's
then,
two ways of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
And this applies to football players, but also anybody outside of football. It's one thing is learning new skill sets. It makes you unique, like you mentioned. So it makes you more valuable in the marketplace to have skill sets to then provide a service and to grow your business and your career. Two, and this is the most exciting thing to me, when you learn new skill sets and you have new experiences, you broaden your experience of life. You get more fulfillment. You start to understand new things. Like in the last couple of years, I started playing new sports, learning new skills, tapping into industries I've never tapped into before. Great. It's developing me as a person. I'm becoming more valuable, but also my fulfillment of life has gone up. So imagine you live your whole life and you only know one thing.
It's like,
How disappointing would that be? And that curiosity factor is sometimes what drives.
and creativity, like creation, to actually, because with new skill sets, for me, one of the most the best states to be in is in the state of creation. And the soccer field is a state of creation as well. But especially like when it gets really serious, it's that's why the playfulness is so important. With the best football players, we're always the most playful ones. They just were in that super high creative flow state. And I do think we're limiting ourselves when we stop, learning new skill sets and expanding, our wisdom and knowledge and experiences, because that is what ultimately leads us to more creation, to more flow. So, I think you've done fantastically on that point, because not only are you a content creator now, you are, you're a founder of something that is like a serious business. People don't really know maybe what goes down into building a football club, but it's so much more than, just documenting the journey and getting the players in. It's literally creating a company, creating, the sponsors, the investments. Take us through that. Like, how did you know that it takes this much? What does it take? What does it take to build a football
club? It was crazy. The journey has been crazy. I feel like I've lived in a movie. On your last point, quickly, I just wanted to give a applicable tip to anybody watching this, because I know they're getting so many different value points out of this. But that idea of trying new experiences and developing yourself, audit yourself right now. What I would say is once a week, one new experience.
That builds confidence.
Minimum, by the way. So audit yourself right now. This week, what's on your schedule that's something new? Because people live the same life over and over and over again.
Get yourself out of the loop. Bring in one new experience, because it is ultimately what builds confidence, trust in yourself.
And if you don't have it right now, even pause this podcast 15 seconds, audit, and drop a comment down below. Let us know what is the new thing that you're going to do this week. Okay, story time. Ready?
It can be the simplest thing.
Easy. So, look, the idea was building a pro football club in 365 days. It sounds fun. It was fun at the start. By the way, my whole life is get your foot in the door, figure out the rest later. So I came up with the idea, talk with
Wait, repeat that. That was good. Getting my foot into the door, and the rest I will figure out later.
Yeah, get your foot in the door, figure out the rest later. Because the thing is, if you're behind the door and you're coming up with this master plan, you could try and master it as much as possible, but you don't know what's on the other side of the door.
Right.
So your plan's never going to be perfect. The perfection of the plan is actually walking through the door, having a look around, being surprised a little bit, gathering information, going back to the plan, evolving it.
Yeah.
Your plan becomes better.
Yeah.
That's why anything in life, I always say, even if you don't have it fully figured out, step in.
That's why the dream is so important. Like, leave it there. Just have it there. And just keep stepping in, into the rooms that you need to get into and figure out the environment.
So I was in the living room, okay? And I go to Dan, my business partner. I'm like, Dan, I got this idea. Okay, listen. He's like, what's the idea? Like World Cup? Like, what's the next journey? People want to know. I said, hold up, this one's different.
Right.
We're going to build a pro football club together. He's like, what? We go back and forth. The energy's there.
Yeah.
Get the whiteboard out. We start mapping it out. And this was a week before we announced it. So we didn't have a master plan. We had some bullet points of how we're going to do it. Phase 1, build the brand identity. What is the club going to be called? What are the colors, the logo, the kit? That's the fun part. Phase 2, get funding, get the investor. Phase 3, get the coaching staff, build a team. And we started. Day 1 came. I uploaded the video. It got like 2 million views. And everybody was tuned in because it was something exciting. It's never been done before.
Wild.
How can you build a pro football club in only 365 days? Now, the first couple months, it was fun. We asked the fans, what should the club be called? They all commented.
What did they say?
They said Al Kabila FC. They said Passion FC, they said Alseva FC, a bunch of different names. Narrowed it down, Al Kabila FC1, which translates to the tribe in English.
Oh, wow.
And that's why we're called the tribe. We're about the people, we're about the community. So we want to create a tribe of people that are all together building this club. And then we built the logo, the colors, everything. So then it got to the serious part, which was about 3-4 months in, where we started pitching to different investors. And that became a whole story of traveling to events and trying to pitch and getting rejected. But we kept going and we kept making it happen. We created content. We kept the momentum going. Long story short, zooming out over a 12-month period, we got our pro license from the UAE Football Association, which made it official.
Yeah.
We're a pro football club. We got Stephen Taylor as our head
which
coach.
day? Which day? 300?
So, okay, literally, technically, this is like insider information.
Okay.
We closed a deal on day 365 that actually made it happen. So we got the license before.
This is the funny thing about the universe.
This is
it
crazy.
just gives these
I have
crazy
the video, by the way.
synchronicities.
I'm saving it for the documentary. The video, if you go, the video, so we start on October 1st.
Right.
If you go 365 days.
Unbelievable.
And then we were the last day of September.
Yeah.
We linked up with a guy a little bit before midnight. It was until 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We shook hands. Deal was closed. It was the final part of making it all happen. I got 2 hours of sleep and I had to go train the next day because I was a player on the team as well.
Yeah.
But day 365, we actually made it happen.
And this was recently, right?
Yeah, this was last October. So this is about, what,
6
7 months? 6 months ago?
Unbelievable. Yeah. And your journey is just, we don't know where it's going to go. And I'm actually very curious, like I said in the beginning, like, first of all, unbelievable what you've managed to accomplish. And you're doing this. You're literally, every single player there, they're having a huge impact by your philosophy and how you want to run this thing. That's extremely beautiful. But also what you're transpiring on social media is a big impact. So I want to know, first of all, do you have any other crazy challenge coming up? And are you allowed to, say something? And if there is some big next move that you're very excited about, is it to win the league maybe, or what's going on?
So there's a crazy challenge coming up sometime in the next year.
Ooh.
Secret, so that one
you don't have to disclose anything.
We'll need to stay tuned for that one.
Yes.
The immediate goal is to get promoted. So we are a new football club, a pro football club, competing in our first ever year.
Yeah.
18 teams, 4 top teams move up.
Right.
Currently in the 3rd division of pro.
Yeah.
We want to move up. We're in 4th right now, final month of the season.
Oof, how's it going?
May is the final month. We have 5 games left. And if we win the majority of them, we will get promotion. So it's very exciting. That's our big goal. Can we get promoted? Of course. We will find out on May 31st.
Yeah.
And
I mean, watch him go, guys. It's gonna, that's sort of like the, what's it called? The juice of this podcast is that watch me go.
Exactly.
Eventually, you will see me there winning. And maybe it's not about the trophy. This is not about the trophy. It's much bigger than that. This is actually about the path to, to that potential, goal and dream. And your why is so important. It's impacting, and it's going to impact so many people. And I'm so honored that you've shared your path to this incredible impact that you've done so far. And what's yet to come, only God knows.
Yeah, only God knows.
And I'm really curious, if you were to describe the impact sort of that you're trying to make with one word, what would it be?
Multi-dimensional.
Oof, I love that. That resonates a lot with me. Like I always struggled with being multi-dimensional. I felt like what is this all leading to, And it is actually like the most beautiful essence is when you can adapt and you can take on anything just because you have the skill sets and the assets and the confidence because you've challenged yourself so much in life. And I think multidimensionality comes from resilience and taking it on, through the challenges.
I truly believe everybody listening and watching this, their best version as a person is their multidimensional version. And the question that they should ask themselves is, what does that look like?
Okay. Soheil Var, I'm so thankful for this
It was a
conversation.
great conversation.
Thank you so much for being here, sharing your
course.
journey. And I'm so excited to be here for your journey and to see what's going to come up next. Thank you so much, Derek.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.